I am about to tell you is classified on the highest level of security in our federal government. Alaskan Black Pyramid.
We saw really bright red lights going clear across the sky really fast.
You feel like what you saw had the power to do harm if it wanted to?
Not at all. That never even went through my mind.
A secret pyramid buried deep in Alaska's icy wasteland has the U.S. government in full-blown panic mode, and for good reason. This isn't just any pyramid, it's an alien power source that could change everything we know about energy. The military is scrambling, tapes are vanishing, and strange men in suits are showing up unannounced. Tune in because what they've uncovered beneath Alaska could rewrite history as we know it. Frozen secrets. Whispers in the wind suggest that it's no ordinary pyramid, but something wrapped up in military secrecy and, oh yes, maybe even aliens. Sounds ridiculous, right? But then again, it's always the ridiculous stuff that tends to be true. But here's the real kicker. There are reports from people who claim to know that this buried structure isn't just ancient. It's alive, humming with energy, sending signals we're only just beginning to detect. The truth might be stranger and more terrifying than anyone could imagine. Flashback to May 1992. China decides it's the perfect day to test out a ginormous underground nuke. This was a serious explosion, big enough to make waves across the world. And as it turns out, these waves had an unintended consequence. The shockwave from this bad boy traveled all the way to Alaska and, surprise, surprise, our lovely scientists detected something odd beneath Anchorage. A pyramid-like anomaly was registered in seismic data, something that shouldn't be there. It didn't match any known geological structures, and naturally eyebrows were raised. Was it a formation of rock, or was it something far more complex and unnatural? Fast forward 6 months, and we meet our man of the hour, Douglas Muckler. Now, Douglas wasn't just anyone. He was Army intelligence, a guy who was used to dealing with secrets and cryptic messages. While flipping through channels one day, he stumbles upon a news segment, a broadcast covering a mysterious colossal pyramid near Mount McKinley. It catches his attention immediately, but here's the kicker. When he tries to locate the exact spot on a map, there's a blank spot where this pyramid is supposed to be, an empty nothingness where something massive should have been. Spooky, right? The weirdness doesn't stop there. When Douglas tries to record the news report, poof, it's as if the whole segment just vanished into thin air. No footage, no trace. He even heads down to the local TV station, hoping to dig up a copy of the broadcast for himself, only to be told with a blank stare that no such broadcast ever existed. Sure, and I'm the Queen of England. But Douglas is persistent. He knows he saw something. He's not crazy. Then a sly technician, maybe just a little too careless, or perhaps wanting to spill the beans, whispers to Douglas that 2 shady guys in suits had come by, picked up the tapes, and left with strict orders that nobody was to mention the broadcast again. Douglas is now hooked. He can't let it go, so he turns to Linda Moulton Howe, a well-known investigative journalist and documentary filmmaker who's been digging into mysteries for decades. Linda's made a career out of exploring the fringes, aliens, government secrets, and the paranormal. She's the perfect partner in crime for something as mysterious as a pyramid in Alaska. Soon enough, Linda is contacted by a mysterious voice, an anonymous caller who claims to know more. He says his father was in the Navy, stationed at a top-secret base in Alaska, and had once let slip a few details about a mission that had involved the pyramid. According to the mysterious caller, the pyramid wasn't just any old structure. It was an energy source, an incredibly advanced power generator, capable of lighting up half of Alaska. Top secret, hush hush, don't ask questions, or the men in black might come knocking. The caller describes his father's recollections. The Navy had stumbled across the pyramid while exploring the region's potential for geothermal energy. They were expecting to find underground hot springs or other natural resources, but instead they found something unnatural, something that didn't belong. The pyramid was far more advanced than anything we've got, a technology so potent it had the potential to alter everything we knew about energy and power generation. His father's work involved figuring out just how this giant thing could create so much power. But the job was so secret he couldn't breathe a word about it. not to his friends, his wife, or anyone else. The secrecy, the cryptic jobs, the convenient disappearances of news stories, all of it points to something fishy, something that's got the military all paranoid. Douglas's curiosity spirals out of control, and he decides to get to the bottom of this mystery. As he digs deeper, he stumbles upon Bruce Pearson, another guy with a peculiar family history. Bruce's dad, like Douglas's contact, had also been stationed in Alaska, except this was back in the late 70s, during the Cold War era. Bruce remembers his father's stories well. His dad's unit was supposed to be working on the old DW line, the distant early warning radar system designed to protect North America from Soviet bombers. But there were always strange discrepancies. His father's job wasn't always about radar maintenance. Sometimes it was about transporting parts to secret locations in Alaska, to places with names nobody spoke of. One night over beers, Bruce's dad's Air Force buddy had dropped a bombshell. He hinted at a massive underground structure, a place that wasn't just a casual military outpost, but something far more advanced and mysterious. A structure that supposedly wasn't man-made. It felt like they were guarding the crown jewels, except there was no obvious treasure. The buddy implied there was something big beneath their feet, something the government wasn't about to share with the world. All roads seemed to point to the same bizarre conclusion. There is something colossal and secret buried in Alaska, something hidden from public view, something buried so deep in secrecy that even the people involved can't fully understand what they're working on. The pyramid, if that's what it is, seems to be more than just a geometric curiosity. It's not just some random collection of stones piled in a specific order. It's alive in a sense. It's creating energy, massive amounts of it, without any visible fuel source or machinery. If true, it's a kind of technology that could change the world. And of course, that kind of power is exactly what powerful institutions would want to control, hide, and weaponize. The hidden Alaskan pyramid and its extraterrestrial occupants. Deep underground, beneath layers of frozen tundra, and long past all the guards and strange, eerie vibes, Bruce Sr. witnessed something astonishing. Something that looked like an ancient building, pulsing with an inexplicable energy. It was no ordinary structure. This building was said to emit enough power to cover half of Alaska and even stretch into Canada. As Bruce's helicopter approached the site, things started going haywire. The compasses spun wildly. The radar went completely blank, like the pyramid had its own electromagnetic force field capable of knocking out anything nearby. Whatever this thing was, it had some serious power. Power beyond anything most people had ever encountered. But Bruce wasn't the only one to catch a glimpse of this enigmatic building. A few years later, a woman, known only by her pseudonym Elena, came forward with a remarkable story of her own. Elena had a special ability called remote viewing, a supposed psychic talent that allowed her to see things from far away using only her mind. And according to Elena, she had seen the exact same pyramid-like building. She described it with an almost unsettling level of detail. Electric fences surrounding the complex, elevators plunging deep into the earth, armed guards patrolling the perimeter, and most shocking of all, a group of beings who were clearly not human. It was almost like this place was some kind of secretive energy station for extraterrestrials, a place where UFOs might swing by for a quick pit stop, refueling before cruising off into the vastness of space. Elena's visions weren't vague or indistinct. She saw the inside of the pyramid with an incredible level of clarity. She described strange symbols carved into the stone, symbols that didn't match any known human language, almost like an alien script. The underground complex was immense, stretching for miles, and filled with vast hallways leading to high-ceiling chambers. The walls were covered in unknown machinery, machines that seemed to hum with an ancient purpose. Whatever was happening inside that pyramid, it wasn't just a giant power plant. It was something far beyond human comprehension, something that had possibly been operating unnoticed for millennia. This leads us to Mount McKinley, also known as Denali, the highest peak in North America. According to certain theories, the pyramid is located directly beneath the mountain, hidden for who knows how long, until fate intervened. Apparently, when China decided to test a nuclear device, it set off a chain of events that pulled back the metaphorical curtain. The shockwaves from the blast supposedly revealed the existence of something buried deep under the ice, and suddenly the world was buzzing. Everyone from military personnel to UFO enthusiasts to psychics like Elena began talking about something ancient and powerful lurking beneath Alaska's rugged terrain. The nuke was like a key that turned on the lights, illuminating a mystery that had been concealed for thousands of years. And it wasn't just fringe figures or conspiracy theorists talking about it. Even people with ties to the government began to hint at something unusual. One such person was Pat Price, a well-known CIA remote viewer. Price claimed that he had seen extraterrestrial beings, living, breathing, intelligent beings, hidden away inside Mount Hayes, which wasn't far from our pyramid of interest. According to Price, these beings weren't just hiding. They were actively involved in manipulating human behavior. They were allegedly controlling people's thoughts, subtly influencing events on Earth. If you think about it, the idea is chilling. An unseen force from another world, secretly guiding humanity, nudging us in directions we don't fully understand. It makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes, and who or what might be pulling the strings. Price's claims didn't stop there. He provided more details, describing the interior of the alien base as a multi-level facility, each level more advanced and intimidating than the last. The deepest levels, according to Price, housed a machine capable of emitting frequencies that could alter human consciousness. Essentially, this machine could manipulate people's thoughts and behavior from miles away, without anyone even knowing it. Just imagine, an underground base with technology sophisticated enough to reach into your mind, altering what you think and feel. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but for Price, it was a terrifying reality. Adding to the intrigue are the discoveries made by scientists in the Alaskan wilderness. Over the years, archaeologists have stumbled upon ancient artifacts, totem poles, intricate carvings, bows, and tools that suggest advanced cultures once called this harsh landscape home. Some of these relics date back thousands of years, pointing to the existence of sophisticated societies with knowledge and skills that rival our own. Could these ancient civilizations have had some kind of connection to whatever lies beneath Mount McKinley? Did they somehow tap into the energy emanating from the mysterious pyramid, using it to build their societies or even communicate with beings from beyond the stars? Take, for instance, the rock carvings found at Petroglyph Beach in Wrangell, Alaska. These carvings feature symbols and images that hint at a level of understanding far beyond what we usually attribute to ancient peoples. Some of the symbols appear to depict figures with elongated heads and large eyes, features that many associate with depictions of extraterrestrial beings. There are also carvings that seem to represent advanced technology, wheels, gears, and even what could be interpreted as a flying object. It makes you wonder, could these carvings be evidence that ancient Alaskan cultures were in contact with beings from another world? Or perhaps they possessed knowledge that was somehow lost over the millennia, knowledge that might even rival our own understanding of the universe. It's worth noting that this isn't the first time someone has suggested that Earth's history might be more of a galactic collaboration than we realize. The pyramids in Egypt, the temples of Mexico, the hidden structures in the jungles of Cambodia. These are just a few examples of ancient monuments that have long been associated with theories of extraterrestrial involvement. The idea is that ancient cultures, despite being separated by thousands of miles, might have shared knowledge, or perhaps even received help from beings far more advanced than ourselves. The pyramids themselves are an enduring mystery, massive structures built with incredible precision, often aligned perfectly with celestial bodies. How did ancient people, with their limited tools and resources, manage to construct something so immense and sophisticated? And why do these structures keep showing up all over the world? In the case of Alaska, the pyramid supposedly hidden beneath Mount McKinley seems to fit this pattern. It's as if ancient peoples knew something important, about the power of these structures. Whether they built the pyramid themselves or discovered it already there, they seem to understand that it held significance. Perhaps as a source of energy, a place of worship, or even a gateway to other worlds. Maybe the pyramid was part of a network, a global grid of power and knowledge that spanned continents and connected ancient civilizations in ways we're only beginning to understand. And then there's the question of why all this is being kept secret. If there is, in fact, an ancient pyramid beneath Mount McKinley, and if it possesses the kind of power that people like Bruce, Elena, and Pat Price have described, why hasn't it been studied openly? Why hasn't it become a subject of worldwide fascination, like Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid of Giza. Some say it's because they want this energy and the truth about extraterrestrials all to themselves. Ancient energy secrets and the global catastrophe theory. These pyramids seem to be scattered like breadcrumbs, leading us back to a truth we're only now starting to rediscover. Maybe, just maybe, there was once a highly advanced civilization, one that knew secrets about energy and building techniques we can barely grasp now. And maybe they had to hide their knowledge after some colossal disaster, leaving behind only these enigmatic pyramids for us to find. Let's take a moment to dive into the mysteries of China. Deep within the country's vast landscape lies a series of enigmatic pyramids that the Chinese government has kept strictly off limits to the public. Unlike the famous pyramids of Egypt, these structures are shrouded in secrecy, their surfaces intentionally covered with dense trees and thick vegetation, as if nature itself were tasked with keeping curious eyes away. It makes one wonder, what lies beneath these layers of greenery, and why are they so closely guarded? The speculation surrounding these pyramids is fascinating and varied. Some believe they conceal incredible secrets of an ancient, technologically advanced civilization, one that may have thrived long before our current historical records. There are even those who propose that this culture was connected to others across the world, including the mysterious builders of the Alaskan pyramid, forming a web of global interaction that challenges the conventional understanding of early human societies. If these theories hold even a kernel of truth, it suggests a narrative of humanity's past that is far more interconnected than we ever imagined. A narrative in which cultures from distant lands shared knowledge, perhaps even advanced technologies with one another. It's almost as if there was a unified purpose or a collective understanding behind these massive structures scattered around the globe. And we are only now beginning to piece together the fragments of that forgotten puzzle. Perhaps someday, as we continue to investigate and question, the full picture will emerge, revealing a forgotten chapter of human ingenuity and collaboration that has long been hidden beneath layers of soil, stone, and time. One theory that keeps popping up is that these pyramids were used as beacons or markers, creating a kind of energetic grid across the planet. This grid, some researchers say, could have been used for navigation, not just for ancient travelers, but for beings coming from other planets. Imagine the Earth lit up like a giant circuit board with energy flowing between these pyramid points, creating a system that could be used for anything from free energy to long-distance communication. So what are we left with? A hidden pyramid under Alaska, a powerful energy source, shady government suits erasing broadcasts, and whispers of alien tech. Is it all just conspiracy fluff? Or is there something deeper here? Something they really don't want us to know? One thing's for sure, when you've got this much secrecy, this many weird coincidences, and this many shady characters involved, it's hard not to think there's something to it. The Alaskan Black Pyramid, a myth, a secret weapon, or maybe, just maybe, a relic of an advanced civilization we're only just beginning to comprehend. Either way, until someone digs it up or the government finally fesses up, we'll be left wondering, and perhaps just a bit paranoid. The one truth we can hold on to is this: there is so much about our past that we don't understand. So many pieces of history that don't fit neatly into the story we've been told. Whether it's pyramids buried under ice, strange artifacts carved with mysterious symbols, or whispered stories of alien involvement. These mysteries are begging for answers, and as long as they keep hiding the truth, we'll keep searching, digging deeper, asking the uncomfortable questions, and never settling for the official story. Maybe one day we'll find out what really lies beneath the icy ground of Alaska. Until then, keep your eyes open and your mind sharper. You never know when a colossal secret might just crawl out from beneath the snow, ready to shake up everything you thought you knew. Could this hidden pyramid be a source of unlimited power, or is it something even more sinister? What do you think? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.